welcome. I'm Angelisa, your host for Throttle Talk Tuesdays, and every Tuesday we interview influential women who are making an impact for other women in the sledding and dirt biking community. Hey, what's up? What's going on, you guys? Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, Throttle Talk Tuesdays. Tonight's live chat is brought to you by Backcountry Motorsports. When you are in Pemberton, make sure to stop by and visit the shop. Tell them I said hi. And again, that's Backcountry Motorsports in Pemberton, BC. And I'm so excited to be chatting with Sarah Bulford. I probably butchered your last name. I apologize. But she's also known as Mountain Darlin on social media. Not only has she mastered her craft in the digital marketing world, but she is a pretty badass dirt biker and adventurer. And if you're looking for any type of outdoor mountain vibe influencer, she is your gal. So make sure you go follow her after the chat, of course. And we will be taking her Instagram handle after the show once I convert this to an Instagram TV. Okay, we're going to pop her on here. Don't mind, I'm going to be cursing a lot. It's saying I don't have good connection. So just wait, I'm going to pop up Sarah. Hey, what's going on? Hey, how are ya?
Good, how are you?
Good. Did you look at my nostrils? Because I always feel like gotta get you on here. You're in a cup right now.
It does kind of look like I'm below you. How's it going?
Yes, good. How are you?
Good, great.
Good.
It's very dark in my living room, so I have my light on in front of me. It looks like I'm in a cave.
Oh, it's all good. Yeah. I was gonna say you're in a cup right now. This is my setup. You're in a cup. I have a ring light just to it's the things that we do, right?
Yeah. I have a ring light too. I don't have any lights in my living room, so I just have to use this.
Yeah.
This works.
Yeah. How's your Tuesday?
Good, busy. I just started a new contract and I've been looking at the screen a lot today, but it's been productive, so it's good.
Awesome. You know, Tuesdays never used to be my favorite day, but I find that my Tuesdays are now starting to be more productive and like my favorite day. So
I kind of thought it was later in the week. I'm like, oh, we're almost at the weekend. Nope, it's Tuesday.
But that's okay. Throttle Talk Tuesday. Well, let's get into it.
Sweet.
So you are known as a skier, climber, artist, and now moto, which I'm so excited about.
All the things.
Yeah, all the things. But you know what? I'm actually really stoked. You and I had a, one-on-one coffee date in the summer, and I'm so grateful for our conversation. I got to know you a little bit better. You have a great story. You mentioned, and I've been using this a lot for you, granola and gasoline. Can you tell us exactly what does that mean?
Well, it's kind of apparent if you look at my Instagram page lately, where I have a good mix of outdoor adventure sports that are human powered, and then I like to throw in some gasoline sports. There is a pretty sweet page called Granola and Gasoline, which I get inspiration from. If you are kind of in that community, then you probably check them out. But I just like it's combining those two worlds where you're not just super focused on motorsports or super focused on human-powered adventures, but you got a good mix of both. And I feel like, that's just the direction of my life, and it provides a lot of balance. And yeah.
I was going to say you're the perfect blend for it. Okay, so can you tell us a little bit about your background, what it is you do, and what made you decide to get into dirt biking this season or this year?
Awesome. So for work, I do marketing and with sort of a highlight of social media, of course. And yeah, it's been pretty much in the outdoor industry for the last 10 years. I've worked a little bit with small businesses and athletes, influencers, all that kind of stuff. And then my journey into dirt biking, I used to dirt bike as a kid. And just in the last couple of years, I've been really wanting to get back into it. And this was kind of the year I was like, you know what, I'm probably not going to see that many people this summer. And with COVID and everything, I was like, I feel like this is the time to get back into it. Yeah, so I just kind of dove in feet first, and it's, been pretty amazing.
Yeah, awesome. And so you did kind of talk about your history with dirt biking, but can you elaborate a little bit more about your childhood and when you were dirt biking as a child?
Yeah, so I think it started in middle school. I had a friend who was like grew up dirt biking. She always rode two strokes. She was a very wild child. And I grew up with four older brothers and a family that was definitely very outdoorsy and athletic, and I kind of always went in that direction of hanging out with people who were also kind of in that vibe. So Cheyenne was my best friend through middle school and high school, and we did a lot of dirt biking together. It was very different than what I do now because we would just hop on bikes. Usually we didn't have any protective equipment, which wasn't great, but we would do that. And we'd just usually like rip around through little pump tracks, or we would go up to the spillway to go swimming. And if you don't know what a spillway is, it's like, I don't even really know what a spillway is. I think it has something to do with the dam. It's basically this giant concrete slide with a pool of water at the bottom, and we'd sneak in there and go swimming. And so we'd ride our dirt bikes there, and we'd usually like push them through barbed wire fences. It was super fun,
Wow.
but very rowdy. So it's definitely been a different road into where I am now. But definitely that's where the hype started. Sadly, that friend who was super close to me passed away. So it was kind of just like a bit of a tribute as well to her to get back on the bike and go that direction.
Oh, awesome. She would be very proud, I'm sure.
Yeah, she definitely would. She'd be like, more throttle.
Aw. So what kind of dirt bike do you ride now? And I smile because I know what it is, but
I am riding a spazzy little KTM 105 XC, which obviously is a smaller bike, but it is still a beast.
Yes.
And needs to be tamed. So I have volunteered my time. It is an amazing little bike. I love it because I have ridden mostly heavier four-stroke bikes. I haven't really had that much experience with the smaller two-strokes. But I love that I can just like pick it up and throw it around. And if I fall, it's like I'm pretty close to the ground. It's been like an awesome little tool for learning. So I'm sure I'll upgrade eventually, but right now it's just so much fun, and I feel like it has the power that I need, and I keep up with everyone. So yeah, like, it's quite a beast.
Yes. It's so funny. I often say that about, my 105 as well. It's like, it's a beast, but either I tamed it or it tamed me. Like, I don't know. I want to say maybe I tamed it, but yeah,
there's definitely so much to learn on it too.
Totally. Oh, that's awesome. I love that you have the 105.
And it's such a good bike. It's just like, it's great.
Yeah. You did say that maybe you would upgrade. If you were to upgrade, what would your upgrade be?
Maybe to just a 125 or a 150. I'd probably stick with KTM because I feel like I'm sucked in now, and I just like love it so much. I know there's other great bikes out there, but I'm gonna definitely stay with two-stroke. I've ridden four strokes and I like them. They're great, but there's just something so fun about a two-stroke. It's just like, it's always ready to go. And I feel like for Squamish trails and for like enduro style riding, it's just such a good bike.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Which is actually my next question. Where do you live, and where is your riding area?
I live in Squamish BC. And we mostly ride at the lava flow area, a little bit around Brackendale. There's some sneaky little trails and tracks. But yeah, mostly lava flow. I've gone to Bear Creek and done a little bit of riding, but that's kind of it.
Okay.
The summer's been definitely stay at home and get your ass kicked by lava flow trails.
Totally. Totally. So living in mild temperatures, do you plan on riding all season long?
Yes, I just rode last weekend, and it was sloppy and wet, and I'm falling a lot and crashing on routes. But yeah, I feel like I'm going to learn so much and just be stronger going into the next season. So I'll just keep doing it. That's kind of the great thing about living in Squamish is you can mountain bike or climb or whatever in the middle of December as long as you've given it some time to dry. So
Yeah.
it's definitely a little bit more challenging, but that's okay because I feel like I'm in the learning phase anyway. I might as well just go at it.
And you nailed it. It's just going to improve your riding that much more. You're going to experience it all.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna like go over a dry log one day and be like, oh, that's what it's supposed to feel like.
Right? Yes, absolutely. So a question I ask all the ladies. You're a pretty dedicated gym goer, gym gal.
Mm-hmm.
And since you started dirt biking, have you altered your gym routine at all with the sport?
I haven't altered it too much because I do love weight training and I love going to the gym. I would say I've been doing a little bit less cardio, which is not good for ski season, but focusing a little bit more on weights and kind of just building up my shoulders, back, forearms, all that stuff has definitely been my top priority. But it's funny because I climbed for so long and I did a lot of training for climbing, which is really heavy for, strengthening your hands and your forearms, your biceps, everything kind of upper body. And so it's very similar. Like the pump that you get when you're dirt biking is so similar to climbing that it's like you can kind of take a lot of those exercises and you wouldn't think that they would be similar, but they are.
Interesting. Yeah, that's actually, so I'm sure you're already conditioned to that. So you don't feel a whole lot of burn or
yeah, I mean, definitely a little bit because like COVID, I didn't climb much this summer. And so I've definitely had to boost it up a little bit, but yeah, it's cool because you can just see some where they align and some similarities in the training. So it's kind of cool. You wouldn't think that. So
yeah. And then my next question, specific workout. Again, we talked a little bit about the shoulders and climbing, but is there something specific you're doing now that's helping you stay stronger for riding?
Definitely trying to up my deadlifts because that helps with the bike and strengthening my back. And it actually does a whole ton of work for your glutes and your legs and everything. So definitely been getting back. I used to deadlift a lot and then I took a big break. And then now I started picking the bike up again and I was like, I should definitely do more deadlifts. But yeah, that's definitely been added to my gym routine.
Okay, cool. I love deadlifts.
Me too.
So I read one of your posts a month ago. You used to climb, so you've mentioned climbing, and hike a ton, but you're finding yourself dirt biking more. Can you tell us what has shifted for you?
Well, I feel like the first is like the obvious thing which I feel like most people experience when they get on a bike, and if they enjoy it, is like it's just so much fun. Even when you're like getting your butt kicked, it's just so much fun. So that's definitely a very large contributing factor. The other one would be that I was on Squamish Search and Rescue for 7 years. And if you don't know, Squamish is the second, if not right in line with the first busiest search and rescue team in the province. So they get calls all the time in the summer, multiple calls a day. And a lot of these calls are obviously sports focused, something to do with climbing, hiking, skiing, whatever. And I just feel like I've been in that world for so long and experienced so many nasty accidents and just things and have lost friends and have had things just not go so well that it's kind of all built up over time. And I felt like I was ready to introduce something that was totally different. And I can say that in 7 years, I never went to a call for a dirt biker in distress. Lots of mountain biking, but now I'm sure there was dirt bike calls that I missed, but I never went to them. So this is kind of something new, no trauma associated with it, just good times. And as I work through some of that other stuff and take a step back from those sports, this has just been something that's like so much fun, so exciting. I just can't wait to go. I'm like, even when it's raining outside, I'm just sitting there like, I wonder if there'll be like a dry hour that I can go out on my bike. So it's just been nice to have a bit of change of scenery, a change of pace. And it's like a whole community I had never really experienced in Squamish. So yeah, I didn't even know lava flow trails existed a year ago. So
right. It's a hidden gem.
It is a hidden gem. I shouldn't really say it out loud, but it's there.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thanks so much for sharing that. Okay, and let's get into some struggles and pains. Dirt biking comes with a lot of struggles, a lot of challenges.
Yeah.
So what are those you're experiencing mentally and physically?
Mentally, I would say this is just because of like having that shift with a new sport. Mentally, I'm okay. I'm feeling pretty just excited and just gonna go for it, even if it doesn't turn out super well. But like physically, there's just so much technique that's missing, and it's like that's what I'm finding to be the biggest struggle. Is just like I can get over something, but it's not smoothly. I probably am gonna crash, and there was definitely a better way to do it. So yeah, just like definitely struggling. I definitely need to, in next spring, go out with some more tuned riders that can help with some little tweaks to get me going. Because I definitely will just, I mean, I've messaged Crystal a few times. Crystal loves moto, and she's been like, I'm like, okay, how do I stop my back end from sliding out when I go over a log? And she's helped me like the best she can through social media to be like, do this. I'm like, okay. But yeah, definitely just like learning to be in tune with the bike and like know how to move with it. It's just such a, and I feel even like I feel so much better than when I started. I feel like there's so many things that I've just like naturally picked up on, but definitely need to take some workshops. And yeah, she's laughing. Crystal's laughing because she knows.
I can't even I can't even see the chat right now, but yeah, absolutely, you're right. And I think there's something to be said about like, as intimidating as it is to ride with, you know, these really talented women, but how amazing it is with the benefits of just even watching them ride in front of you. Like you just pick up so much more.
And definitely going with females just because we just explain things different. It's like, it's not that guys are going to do anything smoother or better. It's just that women just seem to be able to explain it to each other a little bit easier. They're like, you need to do this, where my partner will be like, just hit the throttle and just go for it. I'm like, that's not what you're doing. I know there's more steps to this. I know it. You're just not explaining it to me. But it's been cool with him too, because he's brand new to it. I have more experience with the moto world than he does. So it's been kind of cool to be like able to teach him a few things and not have him be the one that was like getting me into the sport. So that's been cool.
That's cool. For sure. I always love the just pin it, like as if that just makes sense.
Yeah, you're like, yeah, I can do that, but there's definitely more to like my body position and my clutch and
totally. Okay, what about some wins this season?
Wins this season, I feel like I've just gotten so much more comfortable on the bike. I feel like when we went out that time, when I look at like us riding down that FSR together and then to where I am now, I'm like, I'm faster, I'm more comfortable on the bike, I'm standing way more than I was. And I'm just like excited every time I try something new. So like if I try a different feature on a trail, or like I tried going up a rock the other day and I was like, this might not go well, but then you do it and little bit by little bit, you're like, oh, this isn't so bad. And like you kind of learn to feel how the bike's moving and everything. And yeah, I feel like my win has just been like my comfort level has just gone like crazy up, and it just feels like something that I'm supposed to be doing, which is good.
Oh, awesome. Love it. Sorry, I'm just so excited for you and for this new adventure.
I'm so excited too, and I can't wait for us to ride next year.
I know. I'm so excited. Okay, so you've been, you did say you've been home quite a bit this summer, but you've been on some adventures though, outside of Squamish.
Oh, yeah.
Which one was your favorite?
Dirt biking related, I'll say definitely checking out the Bear Creek trails in Kelowna. So I have family in Kelowna and I'm there all the time anyway, and I would have never really thought about dirt biking there. So when I found out there was a sweet community there and lots of awesome trails, that was definitely a really fun trip. What else did I do this summer? I don't know. It's been a blur. I'm like, I don't even remember like month to month what's even happened. I'm like, is it still March? I don't know.
Right.
But yeah, just there's been like lots of awesome little day trips that we've done. Lots of scrambling in the mountains. I've been nursing a knee injury, so it's been lots of like rehab and going to the gym. But yeah, good summer.
Yeah, awesome. Well, let's chat future Sarah. You mentioned you have some goals for spring and summer. So can you tell us what those goals are?
Goals for spring and summer, definitely want to get a lot of seat time in. I want to try some of the black trails at Lava Flow. I think I've almost ridden all the blue ones successfully. But now I would like to, and that's just been in the fall, which I like. We're going every day. So I'd like to take some courses. If there's some workshops or something, I definitely want to take any courses with dirt biking that's going to help me improve. And just get some more female riding partners to go out with, get more comfortable going with other people other than just my partner, because you get comfortable with certain people and then you want to be able to like evolve and improve and stuff. So definitely want to go out with a crew of people. It would be super fun. I think that's just some of my goals. There's definitely, I hope like eventually we can go across the border and do some riding down in the States, because I've connected with some cool people through Instagram who are like, come ride in this area. And I'm like, that looks amazing. Like Lake Tahoe and stuff. It looks so fun.
Yeah, absolutely. We should do a road trip.
I know. When COVID goes away.
I know.
We'll definitely do it.
I know. So, and you do mostly enduro. Do you plan on maybe any track days in the spring and summer?
I would love to try the track. I've ridden some little small ones. There's one close-ish to our house that I've tried. It's kind of tight, but it's fun. I definitely feel like I'm going to spend more time doing trail riding, just because I love the puzzle of it and like trying to figure every little route and rock out. It's just like I feel the same sort of satisfaction in my brain as like a really nice ski run, just with a few more bumps. So I definitely am not opposed to trying to ride the track, but I just never got there this summer. It was like a little bit intimidating too. It's like when you first get into a sport, you just kind of want to like hide in the forest and then figure it all out.
And then come out, merge out in the forest. Yes, I can totally know what you mean with trail. And because you do live so close to a trail already, right? Yeah. So it's just, it makes sense.
Kind of convenient.
Absolutely. And where can we follow you on your journey this season as an athlete?
You can follow me on my Instagram, which is Mountain Darlin, not to be confused with Darling, which most people look up, and I think there are a few accounts with that name. Mountain Darlin on Instagram. I also have a website. If you go to the link tree in my bio, there's like my work website and then my personal blog. And I'll be around.
Cool. Awesome. And I'll be adding your handle on this when I convert it as well. So, and do you, so I'm going to, before I skip ahead, you're a great marketer. You have a big following on social media. Can you tell us how long you've been working as a digital marketer? Digital marketer.
Yeah. So about 10 years. I kind of started just after high school, and then I really got going around like 2013, 2014 when I started. I joined so GoPro has like a global family member community where in 2013 they went around and picked a bunch of people who were posting content with using a GoPro and kind of like fit with their model and like everything they wanted to do promotion wise. So I was scouted out in 2013 to work with them. So I was submitting content and I did a few trips with them, and that kind of helped me to network with some other brands. And then I just really got connected, started working a little bit with Red Bull, and just, over the last 10 years, I've done some awesome courses that brands have put up for me, and then kind of just worked at it on my own. And every time I take a contract, I learn something new. I'm pretty much solely self-taught because I worked as a park ranger in the summer seasons, and then I would do marketing in my layoff period. It's been roughly 10 years, and it's solely focused on social media marketing. Do a little bit of web development, but not a ton, mostly just WordPress.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. And since you are an athlete, skipping ahead.
You must be excited about a certain question.
I know, right? I'm just like, okay. Do you have any advice for women athletes who are building their social media presence to potentially become maybe an athlete influencer?
Yeah, so I do work with some athletes, and what I usually say to people is spend some time developing what you want your brand, your personal brand to represent, how you want your your voice to be heard. So spend some time figuring out like, okay, so if my page is going to be about me as an athlete, then I need to focus on, you know, my training, my goals, my accomplishments, my sponsorships, working to really develop your page so it is about you, and then incorporating little pieces of your personal life, but focusing it on as more of a portfolio than like this is just something that I post for fun. So yeah, when I work with athletes, I usually tell them to be a little bit picky about your content, but find a good flow, find some nice ways of editing your photos so that people can really tell that it's you. So if you pop up in their feed or their stories, they can recognize that that's your brand, and it really speaks to the voice that you want people to recognize you by. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Which you know.
Yeah. But you know, yeah, a lot of women would appreciate that for sure. And since you are a woman athlete, would you say you put a lot of pressure on yourself when it comes to riding, getting shots for sponsors and collaborators?
I've never really put pressure on myself, just because I've always wanted it to be more about like the sport and going out and enjoying it, and then the photos just kind of come along because you're having fun. There's definitely been times where I've like put pressure on myself because there's like a certain deliverable list or something that feels a little bit heavy and more focused on photos than the actual like adventure that you're on. So it's just about finding like a good balance and being like, I'm going to go out and have fun, and I'm just going to incorporate some of these photos. And if they turn out great, if they don't, then we'll go out and try again, and not having too much of that pressure, because there's always another day to go out and shoot photos. And even if you have a tight deadline, you can still find ways to make it work. I've like thrown together a photo shoot in my front yard before when I'm like, oh, those photos did not turn out. It's like, that's not going to work. So yeah, just make sure you're having fun.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And who takes your photos for you? Because they're beautiful, stunning.
So it's a mix. I have quite a few tripods. I have lots of different mounting techniques for my GoPro. I take a lot of my shots, and then my Instagram boyfriend takes the rest of them. But usually with my direction. So I always say that I'm the creative director, and then I give him the camera, and I'm like, can you do this for me and don't move it? Just hold it right like that and don't move it. But he is a really good photographer, so I do appreciate all of his shots. But for the longest time, it was just me, just setting up a tripod. I've even done it before, like riding or whatever. You just set up a tripod a little bit, it weighs up on the trail, set up a time lapse, make it happen.
Yeah, totally. Oh, I love it. And what advice would you give to young Sarah who was first starting out as a dirt biker?
Wear a helmet. But also keep doing it, because if you would have kept doing it, think how far you would have come now riding, because it just gets harder as you get older with injuries and keeping up with life and work. So yeah, but also don't worry too much, because you're going to do lots of other cool stuff. So
awesome. Love it. And how about advice you'd give to other women who are just getting into the sport?
I would say to connect with other women in the sport, because if you reach out, so I mean, I've reached out to you, and I think at first it was for sledding, to try to get in on some courses and stuff. But yeah, just reach out to other women, because it can be a little bit intimidating. It does still feel a little bit male dominated. I feel like people can relate to that. So reach out to other women, find some women in your community that are riding. It helps too if you can find people around the same size as you. If you're, for me, like I'm short, so it's nice to find other people that are short, so I can be like, what do you do when this happens? So yeah, connect with people from, all different levels, and find ways to go route riding with them and just learn from people, and don't be intimidated, because everyone starts somewhere, and if you put the time in, then you'll be cruising.
Awesome. Oh, I love it. And a quote you live by.
Oh, a quote I live by is shit happens. I always have said shit happens. I have a little bag that has it literally like pressed into it. Shit happens because you can plan everything out perfectly, whether it's like, for me, whether it's like a ski trip or going to the gym or going dirt biking, and some small little thing goes wrong and it can just ruin your day, or you can just turn and be like, you know what, shit happens. Yeah. And you just kind of learn to like move on, especially like for me, I can think I'm going to have this like killer day out on the bike, and then I can fly over the handlebars, and I just have to kind of like dust myself off and be like, okay, you know what? Shit happens. We're moving on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Excuse my French, but
No, it's awesome. It's a great quote for sure. So I have a couple questions here. One's from Kaden Mackey, 818. You have answered this, but if you want to, maybe just shorten it. What got you into dirt biking?
well, yeah, friends got me into dirt biking. Yeah, just loving it as a kid. And then going a few times as an adult and loving it, and just changing it up from what I was used to, and kind of some negative experiences I had with other sports, finding kind of a new direction to go to, because I'm a hyper person. I have to be doing something, so enter dirt biking.
Okay. And then Riley Tundra, she says, your dog is so cute. What is your dog's name?
Oh, my dog's name is Doc. Like, what's up, Doc? He is 8 years old, and he's a Weimaraner, so he's like a German hunting dog. They're like lanky, and I'd bring him into the frame, but I don't even know where he is.
Aw, cute. Okay, well, we're going to open it up to everyone. I'm going to scroll up. I'm going to get up close and personal with all y'all. Hey, what's up, Ira? Just going to read out. If you guys have questions for Sarah, now is the time. Hey, what's up, Jesse? And so Jesse, dude, just realized I am a granola and gasoline bish. Oh, Jesse, love
Of course she is.
Yes.
She totally is. She's like farming half the time, and then,
100%.
ripping on bikes and your sled.
Totally. Yes. Yes, she is. So KV 2020, what type of sleds do you ride? I ride an Articat M8000.
Ooh. Right now I have a Skidoo Summit 800 154 track.
Nice.
But mostly I got it for ski access, so I'm terrible at riding it.
Is that actually, that's a question I must have skipped over. Classic me. Are you gonna get into sledding this season, or still gonna use it as access?
Just like even to get better at accessing terrain, I need to get better at sledding. It's just like such a different beast. Like I've just never felt anything like it. So it's another thing I think I need to go out with some people that are just more experienced to be like, because I just like, same with like my partner, we're both kind of like same experience level. It's like we go, we bury it, we dig it out, we bury it, we dig it out. And I know that's part of it, but it's like we do it so much that it's like most of the day. So
right. And
I would
you don't get
definitely
much skiing in, right? Like,
yeah, I definitely want to take some courses. So if Braap Babes has any courses this year, I'm definitely take some.
okay, sounds good. Okay, I'm gonna scroll up. What's going on, guys? If you guys have any questions for Sarah, Crystal says, send it, girl. Yeah. Aaron, hey, what's up? You girls rock. Heck yeah, we do. Ira, what is your favorite ski area? Oh, that's a good one.
Favorite ski area, so I mostly just backcountry ski now. I'm not giving away any of my spots, but I do love skiing around Braap, or in Garibaldi Park. There's lots of great spots. I've done a bit of touring on Rogers Pass and in the Kootenays, more of the Kootenays. Yeah, I love skiing anywhere and everywhere. So I've spent a lot of time in Whistler backcountry, in Pemberton. Yeah.
Brittany says, let's do it. Jessie, just come ride with me.
I will. I'm going to.
She is awesome. Well, that's all that we have for you today. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me, Sarah. I really do appreciate it. Thanks for sharing your stories. I do believe that we all have a story that needs to be shared. And you know, you're a great inspiration. You are the mountain woman, the granola and gasoline, the perfect inspiration. And I think everyone needs to go follow Sarah right now.
Thank you.
Keep killing it, because you are doing so awesome, and I can't wait to ride with you again.
And thank you so much for having me. When I first tuned into my very first Throttle talk, I was like, that looks like so much fun. I want to do that.
Yes,
so yeah, thank you for having me, and yeah, I'm looking forward to doing more riding with you.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, and thank you to everyone who tuned in. Appreciate you. Have a beautiful night, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Okay.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye, Sarah.
Bye.